Hello there, you're watching Left, Right and Centre on NDTV. I'm Maha Siddiqui. 8 opposition parties have written to the Prime Minister alleging central investigation agencies are deliberately targeting them. This amidst the political war over the arrest of Aam Aadmi Party leader and former Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, Manish Sisodia. Opposition leaders including Chief Ministers K. Chandrasekhar Rao, Mamata Banerjee, Bhagwant Mann and Arvind Kejriwal have signed the letter along with National Conference's Farooq Abdullah, NCP Chief Sharad Pawar, Sena's Uddhav Thackeray, Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav and Bihar Deputy Chief Minister and RJD leader Tejasvi Yadav. The scathing letter not just alleges political witch hunt but also points out that agencies promptly drop cases against opposition leaders who switched sides and joined the BJP like Shivendu Adhikari, Narayan Rane and Hemanta Biswa Sarma. The BJP often says, if the opposition leaders are clean, why are they scared of any investigation? But the opposition says, it's the process that is the punishment. And here's why. The government told Parliament in July last year that ED rates had jumped 27 times over the previous 6 years, but the conviction rate was 0.5%. However, it also said that during the UPA tenure, there was no conviction at all, though the number of raids were low as well. The opposition battles it out with the government over alleged political intimidation through agencies. Is this an issue that can help them come together, or will the BJP use the fight against corruption argument to hit back? Mohan Kumar Mangalam, Working President, Tamil Nadu Congress and National Spokesperson of the Congress, Shubhrat Pathak, Lok Sabha BJP MP Kannauj, Mahesh Tapse, Chief Spokesperson of the NCP and Desh Ratan Nigam, Advocate Supreme Court, supporter of the BJP, all joining us here on the show now. Mohan Mangalam, first to you. Why is the Congress not supporting the rest of the opposition? After all, your leaders have been questioned by the agencies and you've alleged similarly that the agencies are being used to target the opposition.
Yes, we have said this in the past, and we do stand by the fact that you've taken many names yourself in the introduction where you've talked about Shivendu Adhikari or Narayan Rane. I'll add one more name to it, which is Mr. P.S. Yedurappa. It seems that if you are going to either move to the BJP or you're part of the BJP, then all your cases are dropped. And so this isn't really a case of trying to get to the truth as much as it's trying to intimidate the opposition. In this particular case, we were the ones who actually were the first people to come out and talk about a scam in the particular liquor policy in Delhi. And we feel very strongly that there is wrongdoing here, and we've even asked for Mr. Kejriwal's resignation in the matter. So there's no question of us being a signatory to a letter that says that there is some sort of political vendetta against Mr. Sisodia. We're very clear on our stand.
All right. Let me go across to Desh Ratan Nigam. Desh Ratan Nigam, largely you're seeing most of the major opposition parties making a similar allegation that the opposition is being targeted. What does it speak for the system, the agencies which are supposed to work in a bipartisan manner? Today, are they being used politically, and have they in the past as well been used politically, and the BJP has just taken a leaf out of that?
Maha, in fact, if you look at the time prior to 2014, all the newspapers report used to talk about corruption and imagine the scams. Everywhere the newspapers were there. Today that is not happening, and whatever the cases which are going today have their connection to the past. Now also let me tell you, I ask a very simple question from everyone. When most of these politicians, especially family-based politicians, joined politics, what were their assets and properties, and what is their assets and properties now? And what is the source of income? If you investigate it, you will get the answers. Most of them were paupers. And today, without any sources of income, they were full-time in politics.
But Desh Ratan Nigam, if you are saying that you don't hear of corruption cases now, why is the conviction rate of the ED so low when the number of raids or the number of cases under it have gone up 27 times?
Let me also tell you, Maha, there is a very fallacious way of, coming to a conviction rate. Conviction rate why the people, the way they are calculating is number of cases filed and number of conviction taken place. This is not how the conviction rate is calculated. Conviction rate is calculated by number of cases decided and number of convictions have taken place. This is how conviction rate is taken. And out of 31 or 32 cases, 26 convictions have taken place. So if you look at from that point of, it is about 75 to 80% conviction rate. Now, suppose tomorrow, if you are looking at the number of cases filed,
888 charge sheets were filed, after which 23 convictions have happened. I think there's some calculation error there then.
No. See, number of cases.
I'm just stating from what the government has said in Parliament.
No. See,
these are figures the government has stated last year in July.
Let me answer your question. You know, since I'm a student of physics and I get into statistics a lot, the conviction rate cannot be calculated on the number of charge sheets filed. It is the number of cases decided. Say tomorrow, for example, in the cases where charge sheets are filed, conviction takes place. This conviction rate would automatically change. So therefore, the conviction rate has to be number of cases decided and number of convictions taken place out of that. So this is how conviction rate is calculated. If you take it from the point of view of number of cases filed, you will always get very low. Take any field, IPC or anything.
Okay.
You will feel,
let me go across to Mahesh
low.
Tapse, and then I'll go across to Shubrat Pathak, who's also joining us now. Mahesh Tapse, are you satisfied with the explanation that is coming in from Deshratan Nigam? He's saying that conviction rate is looking low because it's being calculated wrongly.
Good evening, Maha, all panelists and all viewers. I don't agree with what Deshratan ji just said. Here, there is a vendetta against the opposition, and time and again, senior leaders of the opposition who oppose the BJP regime have been targeted. They have been asked either to switch sides, switch loyalties, or to face the wrath of the investigative agencies. We have seen this time and again. It's been happening everywhere. And our leader, Mr. Pawar Sahab, the Congress leaders, the entire opposition for that matter, has been trying to highlight this again and again. In the various sessions of the parliament also, the statistics were made available by the Honorable Minister of State for Home Affairs. And there also it has come to light that there is a use of the ED, the CBI, the Income Tax Department specifically target the leaders of the opposition. Now once an allegation is made, now then it becomes a media game. Again, media is used in such a way that the entire image of the opposition leaders is tarnished. And then, of course, when it goes to the court,
the BJP continues to say. The BJP continues to say that if the leaders are clean, they need not be scared of any sort of investigation.
No, we are not scared of BJP and we are not scared of any kind of investigation. Then it is well within the rights of the leaders of the country to write to the top man, the Prime Minister of the country, to tell him, look, there seems to be something amiss, and the central agencies are rampantly targeting leaders of the opposition. So there is nothing wrong in leaders demanding or highlighting a particular case to the Prime Minister of India. After all, the Prime Minister, that what we regard is he's the person who's supposed to restore the entire fundamental rights to the citizens of the country.
All right. Shubrat Pathak, the opposition says they are not scared, and you just heard him, Mahesh Tapase, saying that, not scared of any sort of investigation. But at the end of the day, it's the process that is punishing. The idea is to harass, is what the opposition says.
देखिए मैडम, आप एक बात को समझिए कि जब जनादेश माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को सन 2014 में मिला था, तो उन्होंने अपने भाषण में कहा था कि ना तो मैं खाऊंगा और ना मैं खाने दूंगा। इस देश में एक इस प्रकार की परंपरा थी कि जिसको सरकार बन जाती थी तो मानो उसको लूट का लाइसेंस ही मिल जाता था। परिवार, नाते, रिश्तेदार, चेला, चमचा सब मिलकर भ्रष्टाचार में कंठ तक डूब जाते थे और सब लूटने में लग जाते थे, देश के संसाधनों को लूटते थे। आपने देखा होगा, ज्यादा दूर ना जाओ तो 2004 से 14 तक जो कांग्रेस की सरकार जो दिल्ली में रही चली है, तो इस कांग्रेस की सरकार में जिस प्रकार से 2G स्पेक्ट्रम घोटाला, कॉमनवेल्थ घोटाला, कोयला घोटाला, आदर्श सोसाइटी घोटाला, और कांग्रेस के लिए तो इस प्रकार के घोटाले हुए हैं कि आप देखो, जब तक कांग्रेस आजाद भारत में कांग्रेस का कहा जाता है ए से लेकर जेड तक जाओगे तो कोई भी एक ऐसा अक्षर नहीं है जिस अक्षर से शुरुआत ना होती घोटाले की।
शुभ्रत पाठक जी, आप कह रहे हैं कि लीडर्स पहले स्कैम्स करते थे, लेकिन अभी ऑपोजिशन ये कहता है कि जो लीडर जो ऑपोजिशन पार्टी में और बीजेपी ज्वाइन कर लेता है उसके खिलाफ केसेस गिर जाते हैं। कैसी वॉशिंग मशीन है वो? कहते हैं हेमंत बिस्वा शर्मा, नारायण राणे, शुवेंदु अधिकारी, इनके खिलाफ केसेस थे, अब क्यों नहीं इनके खिलाफ कोई कार्रवाई हो रही है?
देखो, आप कुल मिलाकर एक बात समझ, जैसी संगत वैसा असर। तो जब भ्रष्टाचारियों के साथ रहोगे तो भ्रष्टाचार सीखोगे, और उसके बाद में जब अच्छे लोगों के साथ रहोगे तो बस इस पार्टी में कोई वही नहीं है। जब दूसरा नहीं कर सकता है तो जो हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ईमानदार हैं तो उसके बाद कोई दूसरे का
उनके खिलाफ इन्वेस्टिगेशंस चल रही थी, आपकी पार्टी में आते हुए इन्वेस्टिगेशंस खत्म हो गई।
अब देखिए, कोई इन्वेस्टिगेशन खत्म नहीं होती, ऐसे नहीं खत्म हो जाती। जब भाई कईयों के ऊपर केस होता है तो कईयों के ऊपर केस तो इसलिए हो गया होगा कि वो उन्होंने समझ लिया कि भाजपा में चले जाएंगे तो केस कर दिया होगा। कुल मिलाकर देखो, ये स्थिति नहीं है। आप बहुत सीधी सी बात, जो भी गलत है, अभी आपने कर्नाटक में देखा क्या हुआ। कर्नाटक में किसकी सरकार है? भाजपा की सरकार है। दिल्ली में भी भाजपा की सरकार है। अगर एजेंसियां हमारे हिसाब से चलती होती, भाजपा के हिसाब से चलती होती, तो फिर एजेंसियां हमारे यहाँ क्यों पहुंची होती? और भाजपा के घर पर गई ना। तो कुल मिलाकर जहां से भी उनको इनपुट मिलता है कि कहीं पर कुछ गलत हो रहा है, कोई गलत में लिप्त है तो उसके ऊपर तो कार्रवाई करी जाएगी ना। इसके लिए तो प्रधानमंत्री जी को जनादेश मिला है।
ऑलराइट, आम आदमी पार्टी Priyanka Kakkad is also joining us. I'll come back to you, sir. Priyanka Kakkad is joining us. Priyanka, you just heard the BJP representative there saying if somebody has indulged in wrongdoing, in corruption, then action will be taken, and this is not vendetta. How would you respond to that, considering the Aam Aadmi Party says not a single extra rupee was found on Manish Sisodia?
Good evening, Maha, to everybody. I joined a little late. I apologize for it. But I also heard the BJP spokesperson say, "Jaisi sangati, वैसी रंगती." So let me remind the BJP spokesperson that इनका पार्टी एक अपराधियों का संरक्षण प्रोवाइड करने वाली भारतीय जनता पार्टी है। अभी आपने मेघालय में फॉर एग्जाम्पल बर्नाड मारक को टिकट दिया, उनके ऊपर बच्चों का शोषण करने का, ब्रोथल चलाने का आरोप है, आपने उनको टिकट दिया। तो जैसी संगति वैसी रंगति का ये एक उदाहरण है। दूसरा, महा, लेट मी गिव अ वेरी स्मॉल ब्रीफ लिटिल आर्ग्यूमेंट टू दिस। यू सी, we are in Delhi presenting a revenue surplus budget since 2015. You know, BJP has 16 states, 8 of which have been bought through Operation Lotus. सर को याद होगा 50 खोखे नोट ओके के नारे लगते हैं इनके अगेंस्ट विधानसभा में, अच्छे से याद होगा। 50 खोखे नोट ओके वाली पार्टी के पास जो 16 स्टेट है टोटल, उनमें से एक भी पॉजिटिव में नहीं है। उसका मतलब ये है कि ये लोग अपनी जेब में पैसा डालते हैं। दिल्ली फ्री बिजली, फ्री पानी, फ्री शिक्षा, फ्री महिलाओं को फ्री महिलाओं को बस यात्रा, फ्री बुजुर्गों को तीर्थ यात्रा देने के बाद भी सर एक सरप्लस बजट प्रेजेंट कर दिया। और यही कारण है कि आपकी जांच एजेंसी दो चार्जशीट डालने के बाद भी,
because the constant argument that is given is if that there was no scam in the liquor policy, then why was it reversed?
Maha, I'll answer that very briefly also. Maha, firstly, we implemented the same liquor policy in Punjab and earned a revenue of 4,000 crores in the first 6 months. That is 48 times higher than the previous policy. In Delhi, this policy was approved by the LG. So if you want to make Manish ji accused number one, even the LG should be accused number one because he approved the policy. Why we withdrew it, Maha? That was also done on the behest of the LG, who was replaced by the policy was approved by Anil Baijal. It was replaced by Vijay Saxena ji. So both the policy approval and withdrawal was because of the LG. They should also be named. Let me say this with full responsibility.
Since you said, Priyanka Kakkad, sorry for interrupting you there, because the Congress party, when we started off the discussion and you were not here at that time, they said that we raised this issue and that is why today we are not signatories of the letter by the opposition to the Prime Minister that agencies are being misused. Today, when Priyanka Kakkad is providing those arguments, what would you say, Mohan Mangalam?
Maha, I'm not going to respond to the exact arguments that she's making in this particular case, because what I'm trying to say is that while we are in agreement with the fact that agencies are being misused, you asked why we are not signatories to this particular particular letter. And that is because we've said from the very beginning, whether it is in the first quarter itself in Delhi government, there are over 800 crores in loss because of the particular policy. Whether the LG is party to it or not is something for them and the LG to work out. But as far as we're concerned, given the way the policy was implemented in violation of their own committee's recommendations that said that wholesale should actually be in the hands of the government, they went ahead and made it private. For every particular zone, they created monopolies.
I can answer that.
Into their adventures. So without going further into the details of the case, all I'm saying to you is that we believe there is merit in this particular case, which is why we're not signatories to this letter. However, we are saying, and we're saying again, and I should take this point to respond to Mr. Nigam's fancy math, where he's saying that conviction rates are decided based on cases filed. Now, I would agree with him if the process wasn't the punishment to begin with. If you didn't have ad nauseum periods of judicial interrogation, and you actually, in the process itself becomes so much of a punishment that it doesn't matter if the case is actually tried and taken to its conclusion or not. You're able to do enough damage to someone's reputation.
Nigam wants to respond to that. Deshratan Nigam also in court yesterday, Manish Sisodia's counsel has made this argument that he is being mentally harassed and that there is pressure on him to sign on an affidavit in which he doesn't believe.
Maha, in fact, since I was not present when the questioning of Manish Sisodia is going on, so I'm not in a position to say whether asking difficult questions is mental harassment or not. So that's beyond me. Now, secondly, the liquor policy was withdrawn, as rightly pointed out by Congress spokesperson. While withdrawing, Arvind Kejriwal did point out to about 800-900 crores of revenue loss. The only policy where the sales were going up and the revenue of the state was going down. Now, the process, let me tell you about the process. There are two aspects of law. One, the substantive law that you talk of, ED, PMLA or Indian Penal Code or Prevention of Corruption Act. Then there is a process or procedure, which is controlled by Criminal Procedure Code. And here the courts take control of the process, not the government, not the agencies. They arrest a person, they investigate and put it before the court. It is the court which looks into it and controls the process. Agencies cannot control the process. Once the FIR is filed, it is presented to the court.
But sir, I want to ask you one related question, sir. I want to ask you one related question because this is often cited. When the Supreme Court has at one point said that bail is the norm, not jail, then why do we repeatedly see so many leaders, despite what they say, cooperating with the agencies, being in custody?
See, let me tell you, when a person does not cooperate, that means they are confronted with investigation. They either completely deny it, prima facie, which is there, ultimately things will be proved in court. And secondly, also, these people
are not flight risks. They are, some of them are ministers. They are responsible ministers.
Let me tell you.
Shouldn't they then be investigated while they are performing their duty? Probably.
Let me answer. While the bail is granted, number of factors is taken into account. Flight risk being one of them. How powerful you are? Can you influence and tamper the witnesses and evidence? In the case of Manish Sisodia, exact answer is destruction of evidence. And can he do it further?
That is such a wrong submission.
See, these are the considerations.
Sir, he had 1 year. They had 1 year to tamper the evidence.
रुक जाइए. Madam, don't interfere. Let me finish. Let me finish, madam. Let me finish.
I'll give you time. Deshratan Nigam, please make your point in 10 seconds, sir.
See, I never interfere in anybody's thing. You will have plenty of time. See, the fact is, this is what exactly was submitted by these agencies to the court. And court looked into it and then extended the remand. I am nowhere saying he is guilty or not, because that is finally the court's jurisdiction. Today, there are prima facie charges and further investigation is going on. I am only telling you what are the considerations when the bail is granted.
Okay.
That is what I am saying.
Priyanka Kakkar, respond to that.
That is incorrect. That is incorrect because the submission was not made before the court. There was no question of evidence tampering or witness tampering because he was this case has been ongoing for the past 1 year and he had enough time to tamper with witness or evidence if he wanted to. We don't. One. Secondly, the only reason that the remand was extended, and Sir very well knows that, but since he's a BJP supporter, perhaps he wants to be evasive on those, that the remand was extended simply because it was said that the certain questions have not been answered to the liking of the agencies. And, they wanted that. Even the court came down heavily on them and said that you better not ask repeated questions, and you ask the right questions. And that is they asked for a...
All right.
Where is the order?
Both of
Please
you
show
now
me the
because
order.
Manish Tapase has been
Please show
waiting
me the
quite
order.
patiently. He wanted to
You
make
show
a
me
point.
the order, sir, where
Just
it
a second,
talks about
Priyanka
tampering the evidence, sir.
Priyanka
It
Kakkar
is
and
not
Deshratan
recorded.
Nigam. Just a second.
It is not recorded.
Sir,
It is extended.
what I'm saying
It
is recorded.
extended.
So what I'm saying is recorded in the live proceedings
Please
that
tell
were carried
me,
down and carried on the internet.
Please tell me, where did they say it was not to the liking of agencies? Where it is written in the order?
So the judge said
you are very
yesterday,
well aware.
this is what has been reported. The judge said, ask the CBI not to ask repeated questions. I think that was the case that was made
those
by
are
the
general
counsel that there is
observations.
harassment because repeatedly he's being asked the same question.
Those are general observations.
All right.
What
So,
goes
but there was
inside
no
is
such
inside.
observation that witness tampering, like you
Let's move on.
suggested,
Just
sir.
a second, Priyanka Kakkar. Maheshji, I want to come to you because you wanted to raise a point when the point was raised about whether or not the leaders who switch sides to the BJP, why are the cases against them? Why do the agencies go slow on cases against them? You wanted to make a point over there. Go ahead.
Yes, that is exactly what I wanted to ask our friend Member of Parliament, Mr. Pathak ji. कि पाठक जी जब कोई कांग्रेस, एनसीपी या और कोई पार्टी छोड़ के भारतीय जनता पार्टी में चला जाता है तो आपके पास ऐसा कौन सा वॉशिंग मशीन है कि उसके ऊपर के सारे चार्जेस धुल जाते हैं और उसको आप उनको मुख्यमंत्री भी बना देते हैं, आप उनको मुख्यमंत्री भी बना देते हैं, आप उनको मंत्री भी बना देते हैं, आप उनको बड़े बड़े ओहदे पे भी दे देते हैं और उनकी सारी इन्वेस्टिगेशन खत्म हो जाती है। और जिस 2G स्कैम के बारे में आप कह रहे तो स्कैम था कि नहीं था इसके बारे में अब पूरी देश की जनता को मालूम हो चुका है कि 2G स्कैम के ऊपर से हमारे देश के उस समय के तत्कालीन प्रधानमंत्री मनमोहन सिंह जी की सरकार को बदनाम करने का कितना बड़ा षड्यंत्र आपने रचा। वो तो मनमोहन सिंह जी थे, उनकी नैतिकता थी, उनकी मॉरलिटी थी कि उन्होंने खुद इन्वेस्टिगेशन उसमें जांच करवाई और उसके बाद जो है पूरे देश के सामने। लेकिन आपके पास किसी भी वजह कोई कारण नहीं था सरकार को बदनाम करना, कांग्रेस पार्टी की नीतियों को बदनाम करना, सेक्युलर आइडियोलॉजीज को बदनाम करना। सिंगल एजेंडा आपका रहा है और उसी एजेंडा के चलते तहत आप देखते हैं कि कौन
पाठक जी को इसका जवाब देना चाहिए। शिवराज पाठक जी फिर से वही सवाल आ रहा है कि ऐसा क्यों है कि जिनके खिलाफ चार्जेस लगते हैं और वो आपकी पार्टी में आ जाते हैं उनके खिलाफ एजेंसीज काम नहीं करती। महेश जी
देखो एजेंसियां
This constitution is going to punish all of you all.
Shubhra ji, you made your Mahesh ji, you made your point. Let Shubhra Pathak make his point.
देखिए आप सबसे बड़ी बात तो यह है कि जिस पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष मैंने सोनिया गांधी के ऊपर नेशनल हेराल्ड मामले में जमानत पर बाहर हैं,
बंगारू लक्ष्मण
सबसे बड़े नेता, इनकी पार्टी के नेता राहुल गांधी बाहर हैं। तो कुल मिलाकर देखो एजेंसियों के दुरुपयोग की बात करते हैं। एजेंसियों का दुरुपयोग तो कांग्रेस ने किया है। एक चुने हुए मुख्यमंत्री को घंटों बैठाल कर किस प्रकार से झूठे आरोप में फंसाने का षड्यंत्र रचा गया, किस प्रकार से हमारे देश के गृह मंत्री अमित भाई शाह को झूठे मामले में फंसाकर किस प्रकार से जेल में रखा गया। क्योंकि देखो उनके खिलाफ कुछ मिलने वाला नहीं है। ये देश का वो प्रधानमंत्री है जिसका आज अपना कोई फ्लैट भी नहीं होगा, अपना कोई मकान नहीं है भी देखा जब तक माती 10x10 के कमरे में रहती थी। आप कुल मिलाकर देखो अब उनका अडवाणी जी के नाम पे रखा, किसी प्रकार की बातों करोगे दिखाई तो आप ही के पास पड़ता है, दिखाई पड़ता है जीजा जी, है ना। तो जीजा जी को सब देख रहे हैं, पूरा देश देख रहा है। तो कुल मिलाकर एजेंसियों का दुरुपयोग करके जिस प्रकार से मोदी जी को परेशान करने का काम हुआ, अमित शाह जी को परेशान करने का काम हुआ, आप बताइए किस नेता को परेशान किया जा रहा है। अब रही बात भ्रष्टाचार की, जो अखंड तक भ्रष्टाचार में डूबे हुए हैं, या आम आदमी पार्टी क्या बात करेगी। या आम आदमी पार्टी जो आए तो थे ईमानदारी का चोला पहनकर अन्ना जी के साथ में, और फिर अन्ना जी क्या बोले कि अगर हम जानते कि इनके अंदर इतना भ्रष्टाचार भरा हुआ है तो हम इनको तो कभी लाते ही नहीं राजनीति में। तो यह लोग इस प्रकार के लोग आज इस प्रकार के लोग इस प्रकार की चर्चा कर रहे हैं, इस प्रकार की जो चर्चा कर रहे हैं, तो निश्चित रूप से ये लोग आज इनके उजागर हो गया है, आज इनका चरित्र उजागर हो गया है। शराब की बोतल एक लाओ, एक फ्री ले जाओ।
आपने
किस प्रकार के नीति
आंध्र
बदल
प्रदेश
दो।
में कहा 70 रुपए की शराब बेचेंगे आप जीतने पर। आपने कहा आपने
कुल मिलाकर
18 कर देंगे शराब पीने की उम्र अगर आप
नहीं तो
जिता दिए कर्नाटक में।
आपने कहा था, आपने ये बात कही थी क्या कि हम एक बोतल के साथ एक बोतल फ्री देंगे? नहीं, आपने ये बात बोली थी क्या?
आंध्र प्रदेश में आपने बोली है सर।
आपने ये बात
आंध्र प्रदेश में आपके बीजेपी के एमएलए ने बोली है सर।
अरे यार, बीजेपी का एमएलए कोई बीजेपी नहीं होता है। बीजेपी का एमएलए बीजेपी नहीं होता। बीजेपी है प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी, बीजेपी है गृह मंत्री
तो फिर आप नीचे बच्चों का शोषण करने वालों को रख लेंगे, नीचे आप रख लेंगे एमएलए जो आपके ऊपर बच्चों का शोषण का केस हो, ब्रॉडकास्ट चलाते हो, एक्स मिलिटेंट हो, छोटा राजन का भाई हो,
मेरे यहाँ कोई गलत करेगा।
Okay.
मेरे यहाँ कोई गलत करेगा,
I think both of you have had a two-way conversation there almost. I'll interrupt both of you and I want to ask Mahesh Tapse, sir, do you believe today that the Congress is not standing with the rest of the opposition? In some sense, the unity that you all could have had, political unity, that has been marred.
I think that's a wrong understanding that people have. Congress is definitely standing with the entire opposition. I'm not sure who has initiated this letter and how it has gone to the Prime Minister. But if at all there may have been some lack of coordination, I'm not aware of that. But Congress is very much part of the UPA. They are heading the UPA. They are part of the entire opposition. This entire framework, the entire anti-BJP framework which is being built across the country, across all smaller regional factors coming together, Congress is definitely one umbrella which is there.
All right, but Deshratan Nigam, 10 seconds, sir. Do you think this is only using a reason for political unity, would you say, this issue of agencies being misused?
Maha, in fact, this is politically rhetorical to write such kind of a letter. Nothing is under the control of a Prime Minister. It is under the control of the judicial process that we have. Many oppositions have not been part, apart from Congress, DMK, JDU, JDS, BJD, Communist Party, they are not a part of this. So huge amount of opposition is also not standing.
Okay.
So
right.
These are the people who they are trying to be politically rhetorical. 2014 elections are coming, 2024 elections are coming, and therefore such kind of things will happen.
All right,
Please
we'll leave it
approach
at
the
that.
court.
We've completely run out of time. Many thanks to all our panelists for joining us here on the discussion this evening. With that, we're taking a very quick break. News and updates will continue. Stay with us.